Welcome to Nestology. We are your hosts. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Shelley.
And well, before we get started today, I have a little something. Did you know that this is our 50th episode?
Oh, is it really?
Yes. So happy 50th.
I was going to make a comment.
What?
But now I shouldn't. It's going to date myself. I was going to say it's almost as old as me, but I'm not
No, but
my age.
You're not. You're not 50 yet.
Yeah, you're right. It's all just a number. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Happy 50th. Okay, cheers.
Yes.
There's Starbucks. Sorry,
Yeah,
we have no tequila. That was in our very first episode, wasn't it?
One of the first. Yeah, I think you had tequila. I think I had something else. Yes.
50th episode. How cool is that? It's going to be so fun.
I know. This is, it has been fun. And it's been fun getting to know some of our friends and partners a little bit more, like Georgia, getting that text from her yesterday.
I know. Wasn't that amazing? And she's just like me. She's like, yeah, I don't like listening to my voice. I'm like, me either. So I know, I don't listen to these. I can't because it creeps me out to hear my own voice.
Well, and then while I'm listening and editing them, then I'm sitting there going, ooh, gosh, I sound awful. I hate this. We all do it though, because how we hear ourselves when we're talking is different than when you hear it recorded.
Absolutely.
And so I think I don't know anybody that enjoys listening to themselves. So
I don't know. I think there might be some people, certain personality types like to listen to themselves talk, but yeah, that was so sweet of Georgia. I was like, I love that she listened to it. And she's like, oh my gosh, it was so cute. I loved it. Yes. She's like, I don't like listening to myself.
Well, we've been lucky to have some good partners who have a similar mindset with trying to educate and share information so we can help everybody. So
absolutely. This has been so helpful for me personally.
You're learning how to take care of your house.
I have learned so much. I know. And I know. Thank you, Georgia, because I will actually, very soon, my investment property will be vacant. So I can actually have her services come out and take care of all the things around my house before I get new renters in.
Yes, especially that AC that needs a little TLC.
I'm trying to drive that one out, but let's hope it just makes it through August.
That's a great segue into our topic for today. So I was thinking the other day, so many of the buyers that I've been working with have gone new construction. Yeah, that means Shelley often loses the business because they have their own lenders. That's another story.
That's a whole other story.
But everybody's going new, and the big reason is the homes that are existing may need some updating. Mm-hmm. You get a brand new house where it's all new finishes, so that sounds great. But often you're sacrificing something. There's the neighborhoods with older homes have mature trees and larger lots, and sometimes they really need character. But a buyer goes in, especially a first-time home buyer, and they go, well, we would need $15,000 for some flooring updates. It needs a new AC. That's another $15,000. And they're like, once we pay for closing costs and down payment, we don't have anything left to do that. So it reminded me that there's a renovation loan.
There is. And I feel like it's like the redheaded stepchild because
I think a lot of people just don't understand. You fear the unknown.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So they just, they don't know. Yeah, you're right. For one, I think that they just don't know it exists. But then also they're like, that sounds scary. Like they don't know how it works. But I mean, when you brought this up as a topic, I was like, oh my gosh, that's an excellent idea. Because there's a lot of people right now too that just maybe they don't want to move and they their family has grown and maybe they just need an extra bedroom or an extra bathroom or, change out some bathroom stuff. I mean, it can be anywhere, from structural things to cosmetic. It's a really cool program as far as the renovation loan program. There's lots and lots of options. So I'm glad you brought this up because I think it's something that people need to know about.
Yeah. Well, so I guess that's the first thing is that so you can use this to purchase a new home. So you could go buy an existing home and include some of the expenses for improvements and renovation, but you could also refinance with it.
Yes. So you can do both.
So your existing home isn't working, but you don't want to necessarily move. You like your location, you like your house. You need to renovate the bathroom or you need to add an extra bathroom.
Right.
I really need an extra bathroom in my house.
Yeah. Well, yes.
With boys.
You and all the boys.
I want 4 bathrooms. I want us to all have our own bathroom because I don't want to share with anybody.
I totally understand.
Yeah, so that could be a great way for people to not have to move, but to get to I mean, because there's other options out there, HELOCs and cash out refis and different things. But
Yes.
so is there one that's like better than the other, or how would someone decide which route to go?
Oh my goodness. Well, every option is going to be kind of more tailor made to the specific person and what they're looking to do.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So for example, a cash out refi might be perfect for, somebody, but at the same time, this renovation loan product, if you were to do this as opposed to a cash out refi. So in Texas, we have a lot of restrictions that a lot of states don't have on cash out refis.
Okay.
So for example, if you ever do a cash out refinance on your house, you cannot have a home equity line of credit. You can't get a HELOC.
Okay.
Because you can only have one type of equity product on your home.
Okay.
So this renovation product is not really considered a cash out.
Yeah.
And so you don't have some of the limitations. Like cash out, you can only pull cash out once a year, right? Not sooner than that. You can only have one equity product. But this would be a cool way of, refinancing, getting all your stuff done. You're not actually getting cash back because the contractors are being paid for the work.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And so you wouldn't be limited in the future, potentially, with the restrictions on a cash out refi.
Gotcha. So this is just going to be mostly a conversation with your lender to go. They'll ask you questions to understand which product would be best for your situation.
Absolutely.
So tell us how this works. If you are a first-time home buyer out there, you're buying a home that needs work. Like, what is the process going to look like? Like, do you do the work before closing on the house? Or
question.
How do you know how much to ask for?
Okay, so the way that it works, so a renovation loan is going to be building in the cost of whatever it is you're wanting to do. And it could be simply cosmetic stuff. It can be structural items. I mean, you could add a garage, you can add a bathroom, you can even add a pool, new windows.
Wow.
It's really, really unlimited, right? And when you're purchasing and you're a first-time home buyer, you're still getting the benefit of, for example, on an FHA loan, doing a minimum of 3.5% down. And then all of these items are actually rolled into the loan. You close on the home. And then there's a period of time, depending on, the work that's being done. The work gets done after you close.
Okay.
All right. So the monies are held in an escrow account to pay the contractors along the way.
Yeah.
And, Fairway helps with that. We have a renovation loan department. So that way you don't have to worry about it, but you do get the opportunity to pick your own licensed contractors. So it's like, we're not the ones that are telling you which contractors to use, but they do have to be licensed if a license is required for the work that's going to be done.
Can you do any of it yourself? Like if I say, hey, we want to come in and do the...
No. So there's some rules, regarding this, right? Because there's liability on this, right?
Right.
So it can't be your Uncle Ted that's going to paint the house. It literally has to be real.
Unless Uncle Ted is a real company that offers painting services.
Exactly. But you can't do the work yourself. It can't just be some random, person, family, friend, or something along those lines. So it does have to be a professional.
Which is a good thing, guys. Like, yes, you can get some day labor to come help you, but like she had said, the liability, we've talked about this we had an episode about how to hire contractors. The amount of things that can go wrong, you are trusting them in your home as an individual. So liability if they get hurt, but also if the damage that they could do to the house, if they, like that plumber that wanted to redo all the plumbing and found out he's not even a plumber.
Oh my gosh. I know, that was a great story.
So you'll have to go back and listen to that episode. Yes. But it's not a bad thing to have licensed professionals in your home. But if you are someone who wants to DIY, this may not be the option.
Right. Now, let me tell you something cool about this product too, that is also little known, is it's not just for primary residences. So if you're an investor,
okay,
you can buy an investment property and you can use this product to fix it up, because on an investment property, you do have to have more down payment. So 20% is the minimum down payment for an investment property. And maybe that's like the max you have, as far as cash goes, but you want to fix this property up because you're going to be, renting it out. You can use this product for a 1 unit. Okay. Cannot be a duplex or a fourplex. And also for second homes too. So if anybody has, for example, a lake property,
I can use this on my condo.
I can use it on your condo. Yeah. So you don't have to pay out of pocket. Roll it in, right? And everything gets paid by.
Except I'm the DIY person who did them myself.
Okay, well, that's true. You are. And you also do that for me as well. You help me with things I can't do. But so yeah, so that's kind of cool about this
Yeah.
product. It can be used on second homes and also investment property. So this is just a different way to finance upgrades into the house.
Well, that's great because some of the flippers out there who are buying properties and flipping them, they have really big pockets. And so they have a ton of cash. But for someone who's looking to just get their first rental property going, get their first investment property, that's really awesome for them to have that option there.
I know. So, another thing too is people don't realize this is not just, a conventional loan product. This can be used on an FHA loan product. It can be used on a VA. I mean, how cool is that? You
That
got
is
a
neat.
VA buyer with zero down that needs stuff done to the house or would like to have stuff done, and they can roll it all into the loan.
Yeah,
How cool is that?
that is really neat. Are there any limits on like a minimum or maximum that you can spend on upgrades and improvements in the house?
So there are maximums in place, and it just depends on which loan product it is.
Okay.
Okay. So, for example, a maximum would be if you had an FHA loan and it was just cosmetic stuff, not structural, because those things are more expensive.
Right.
Right. So the budget is way higher if it's structural versus cosmetic. So cosmetic stuff, FHA allows you to do a 3.5% down purchase, and you can have up to $75,000 of cosmetic stuff done.
Wow.
Like that's a lot of cosmetic stuff.
That is.
Right? I think you might be able to get it all done.
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
If
That's
it's just
awesome.
cosmetic. So, anyway, so there's different levels for different types of loan products and things
Gotcha.
like that. But it doesn't require a higher down payment, which I think is something that people
Right.
think it's going to be a higher down payment. No, it still is all the minimum down payments that these programs normally allow.
You're just going to be rolling those
You're
improvements in.
Mhm.
How does it work with appraisal then? Because usually you're getting an appraisal on the house. So
Yes.
are they basing it off of how it currently is?
Good question. So with the contractor bids that we would get up front, right? And we know things can change. Okay. So you're still allowed to vary from those because sometimes contractors will get a bid and then, something may change or they may change directions. But you take the bid amount and you're going to the appraiser's going to be looking at it as the all in, like this is the final product. And so they're going to be appraising it based upon the improvements.
Gotcha. Because it's guaranteed because you guys are holding back the money to make sure that those improvements get done so they can base it off of that.
Correct. And then you've got like 6 to 9 months, depending on the program, to get the work done.
Okay. Well, so you would have to be careful. And this, I guess, would be for the agents to make sure that they're running comps in advance so you're not overdoing it in the neighborhood.
Right? Yes, absolutely.
I showed a house one time and it was gorgeous. It was a flipper. I mean, they came in and they did it. It was one of those flips that's actually done really well, but it was listed at over $400,000. And there was enough. It was a neighborhood that was very run down, that nothing sold for over $100,000 ever.
Oh my gosh.
And
Wait.
it was like mobile homes. And it was a rough neighborhood with the houses. There's no way that house would ever appraise. You can't. So you'd have to be careful not to go into a neighborhood where you can't support, like you can't put $100,000 into a house if it's not going to be supported by the neighborhood.
And this is why you need an excellent real estate agent. It's really important, right? Because you're absolutely right. You don't want to be in that situation because if it doesn't appraise,
You wasted all your
you
time
have,
and money.
right. But have a really great, just call Jessica. She'll take care of it for you.
Well, thank you. Yeah. There are a lot of neighborhoods where we see the homes being renovated and, so it could be supported in a lot of areas. You just have to be careful that you're staying in a reasonable budget.
Absolutely.
Well, I think another reason this is a great time for people to look at it is because of the market that we're in. We're here in DFW, at least. I know other areas are different, but we're in a very strong buyer's market right now. There's a ton of inventory and a lot of people are going to the builders, like I said, for new, but it's leaving it where there's a ton of homes, honestly, 25-year high on amount of homes on the market.
25-year high?
And that's just because that's as far back as our data and our MLS goes. So we have more inventory than we have ever had. So
it's insane.
And those houses are sitting there. We're seeing 60, 90. I mean, there's some houses I'm seeing a year on the market right now. So as a buyer, if you can get a good deal, you can negotiate, you can help get closing costs paid for. So there's so much opportunity there, but people are not sure how to take this house and get it to where they want it to be. So I think this is a really good opportunity for that.
Absolutely. And this would be something that, would be great for listing agents, right? To provide and show, that, hey, if you want to make some changes to this house, there is a loan product for that.
Yeah, where
and they can tailor make it.
Yeah, the seller could use this to get the house ready to go on the market, or as the buyer can use this to purchase the home and do what they want. I get people who ask that sometimes, should we renovate?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, very often it's hard to make these decisions unless the house truly needs it and it's like you've got stained carpet, damaged flooring.
Right.
But if you pick it, you may not pick what the next person really wanted.
That's the hard part.
It is.
And usually they pick the cheapest thing, right? Of course.
Yes, they're going to go on the cheaper end. So like I have a house right now, like the light fixtures are dated. But I was like, don't, because people, especially right now, it's a big trend for very unique light fixtures. People want to pick out their own light fixtures and stuff. So people do want to be able to customize and make it their own. So listing agents and buyer's agents need to know more about this.
I agree. So we need to get this out there. I just think it's something that, like I said, we talked about it earlier. It's just little known about it.
Right.
They don't realize that this is actually a real loan product and you can do it on all these different options with different loan types.
I remember I had a question I was going to ask before and forgot. What about living in the house or figuring that out? Like if it's big construction projects, can you live in the house after closing while this work is being done?
So if the renovations are significant to where you can't be, there is an option that you do not live at the house.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then in that case, they will actually put your mortgage payment in an escrow account for you. And you may not have that payment for a few months, depending on how long it takes you to get moved back into the house.
Well, because that can be a problem. Some of these, yes, if it's minor repairs, you could live there while you're going through it. But
It's
some of these you can't.
But yes, but a lot of these, if they're ripping out floors and fixtures
but then you can't afford a mortgage and rent at the same time.
Exactly. So this will help with that. So
yes, then they could
have
have a pause on their mortgage payments.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I know. So it's like, why aren't more people doing this? I don't get it.
Well, I asked ChatGPT.
Okay. Let's talk about that. My good buddy Chat.
It, he, she, what is it? We'll call it it.
You know what? You don't want to hear my take on it.
Okay. Well, Shelley's getting to know Chat a little bit, and
I am.
They get into some arguments,
Chat, and I'm nervous to argue with Chat because I want to be nice to my AI in case it ends up taking over someday.
I know.
So I was arguing with it. It kept saying, "I will have this to you within the next 24 hours," and I'm like, "Then it doesn't happen." I'm like, "What in the world?"
I was like, "You're expecting too much."
I am expecting
not as smart
too much.
as.
And it's not doing what it says. I'm so sorry. I'm going to say something really rude right now. I was like, okay, I hope I don't offend anybody. But I literally was like, I decided it's actually a man because with my experience with men. I'm so sorry. Not all men are like that. But in my personal experience, it's like, not doing what you say you're going to do. And I'm like, oh, all right, Chat, you're definitely a man in my opinion. I'm sorry if I offend anybody. Sorry. No hate mail.
No. So, Chat, I asked why people don't do more of this. Most of it came down to just lack of awareness, people not knowing that this even exists, or feeling like it's a little complex and not understanding how it would work. It does mention higher interest rates. So I know,
yes.
And I know you can't quote rates, but rates will be a little bit higher.
They are a little higher. This is a program that it does a lot of different things, right? So therefore, yes, the interest rate's going to be a tad bit higher. It's not significantly more. I will tell you, the rate on a renovation loan is cheaper than, for example, a HELOC.
Okay. Gotcha.
A HELOC can be like 2% higher than current market rate.
Yes.
Just FYI.
We have a HELOC right now, and the rates are crazy.
Yeah, they absolutely can be. So this is going to be less than, a HELOC. So it's not horrible, but yes, a tad bit higher than current market rates.
Gotcha. Another thing it said is about affordability stress, because adding in the home price plus what you need for renovations. So, that's what we're talking about here. When you don't have the cash to be able to do the repairs after you're rolling it in. But that means you do need to shop lower, because if you're going to buy a $400,000 house and put $50,000 in, you need to be able to qualify for $450,000.
Yes, and the appraiser also. We talked a little bit about appraisal, but we didn't talk about like the time frame. We do get the appraiser involved early on, to make sure that the value is there, like you had mentioned, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't want to overprice and all that kind of stuff. So the appraiser, and then the appraiser goes back out again, just to, at the end, to kind of confirm.
Gotcha. So, but if they are planning to do, they need to shop lower. And I know people have an issue with this when you hear you qualify for 450, then they shop at 450. But you need to leave room in that because you're
For
going
the
to
repairs.
for the repair, whatever you're going to do.
Correct.
So they need to make sure they're shopping lower than where they want to be.
Yeah. Because if you want, $100,000 worth of work done and you're looking at 450, well, then you're at a 550 already, and they may not qualify. You're right.
Well, here, chat, you're not making sense here because he's like, it's home prices plus. Well, duh. That's the whole point here. We know we're going to have the
outsmarted you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where it came in. Contractor headaches being part of it, which yes, you're going to have to deal with contractors. Now, who is responsible for like managing everything? Because I know you said there's the renovation department.
Renovation department that's going to be in charge of giving, the contractors the draws and all of that kind of stuff going through.
So you're not having to deal with the finance side of it, but as the homeowner, you're going to be the one who's like on site helping to make sure things are done right. And
yes, unless it's an FHA product, then there's what's called a HUD counselor that's involved.
Okay.
And so they're kind of that middle person on an FHA loan.
Do you know if you can get if it's a bigger project, a project manager, can that be part of it?
Yes.
That's great, because that can really help if you've got a busy job.
Absolutely.
And you can't be stopping by the house all the time to check on the workers and make sure they're...
Yes. But I mean, we all know, like anytime you have, contractors and stuff, no matter how good they are, there's always going to be things that you need to check on, or things might be, it's always a little bit of a headache. So I know chat's like going, okay, this is a more complex product, but just in general, anytime you're doing any kind of renovations or work, isn't it kind of that way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is.
It's whether it's rolled into the loan or it's doing it separately.
Yeah. I mean, I guess as compared to new construction, if that's what you're comparing it to, but honestly, the way houses are built now, in some aspects, some builders are great where we're seeing a lot more insulation, more energy efficient, but some of the things that go into the houses now, they're breaking so quickly. We had a client who closed on a house and the AC is from 1990 and that thing is running great. The inspector was amazing. So, I mean, you can have some really great, structurally sound, adorable houses that aren't cookie cutter looking like every other house in the neighborhood. So that's, I think, where there's a lot of people who are trying to steer away now from new construction just because tiny lots, everything's the same, white and beige. Right.
I know how you love gray.
Yes.
And white cabinets.
All the time with your white cabinet. I was so a client of mine, we were at a design center for new construction, and I was so proud because they picked wood cabinets and they did this green tile backsplash, and it's like marbled, so it's got coppers and stuff. It is gorgeous, and I was so excited to be at a design center appointment where color was picked, and they did navy in the bathroom.
Ooh,
it is gorgeous. I'll show you some pictures of their samples that they picked out.
Yes,
but I have been so used to everything at the design center being various shades of white and gray that
I know
when they said they wanted green, yes,
that's awesome. You're so proud of them.
I am. So, well, anything else that we need to share on the renovations option?
I think so. This is just, it is something you want to make sure and talk to your lender. And not all lenders offer this, to be honest. Like some of the loan products.
Know it well enough to guide them through their options.
Right. Isn't that what Chat said? Chat said something about...
Shelley got really offended because the last one was poor lender education. And she lost it. So
I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's like that. This is exactly what we're doing. We are providing the education.
Yes,
so
we are.
There are lenders who know this stuff and can help you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yes, talk to your lender or just call me.
Sounds good. If I think we have a flyer or something we can add to the show notes so people can see some info about it. So we'll do that.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, we'll try to put in the show notes, but also check out our socials. Nestology Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. I'll post some things there as well.
Well, thank you for joining us, where we help you make the best of your nest.
Bye.
Bye.